Bashim Mashiach Yahshabrakta. Yeah.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need.
Yeah. She. Yeah.
They are all I need. These diamonds are forever. They are all I need.
Let's talk about time.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need.
You can't kill us off no matter how much you try. Don't throw us in prison or beat us, we still grow strong and alive. I don't know what you thought, but the scriptures wrote what's on your mind. Said we can read, but we reading now. We found truth in your lies. Jesus now white, Revelation 1 and 14 is revealed. You say it don't matter, but why put him white in church? I can't deal. My people are gods on this earth, and usurpers came to steal. Now we waking up, they saying we a hate group, might be for real. We forever, from the ancient to the future, as it's written. Spaceships flying, shooting fire, brimstones hitting, and I'm missing the elect of Israel. Get it? Beamed up to me, y'all in spirit. Edomites hate that we waking up, we laugh at their offenses. It's right here forever. What you thought? Even in Babylon, you can't get rid of us, even with cops, cause we died. We was here before and it won't stop. We all above, that's why they hide us, but we diamonds, we gon' pop out. It's right here forever. What you thought? Even in Babylon, you can't get rid of us, even with cops, cause we died. We was here before and it won't stop. We all above, that's why they hide us, but we diamonds, we gon' pop out.
They can stimulate to tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might
Oh, what it do? What it do? What it do, bro? What up? If you my brother, you my brother then. No more disable, we enabling. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love. Yeah. If you my brother, you my brother then. This ain't no Cain killing Abel them. Nah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love. Yeah, I love you, bro, in spite of the differences. This in that time, difference in crime. You don't love your brother, you don't love y'all. Life on the line, hanging like wet clothes. I'm who you hold on to. Y'all is love, all I shown was love. Who you think I showed you? Yahushua said, see him, seen the Father. Heavenly Abba, help you duck and dodge in the condoms. Mary Jane, no more drama. My mama, your mama, ain't hungry or thirsty. You know where to get fed. Even the birds got nets. Said the son of man gave you a place to lay your head. Financially took a loss to you. Stop now, would I be lost to you? Or would you do the same for me? And a parallel universe if we had to wear each other's shoes. Emmanuel thought it not robbery to be equal to Elohim and please him to be made like it to his brother and his. Yeah. If you my brother, you my brother then. No more disable, we enabling. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love. Yeah. If you my brother, you my brother then. This ain't no Cain killing Abel them. Nah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love. Yeah. My brother, you my brother then. If you ain't, you don't gotta pretend. One of my bros became an ex-bro. When he broke in my crib, I can forgive. Joseph forgave his brother, still meant to slavery. Don't listen to he say, she say. Simon says I'm everything y'all said I be. Be accountability partner. Put a safe haven through a tribulation. Motivation, when your soul is aching. Satan can't stop us from celebrating. Trying to annihilate us. Haters get hit up to the point you can't get up. Get up. You might be dropping boys, popping boys with nines. But y'all, you gonna die if you touch one of mine. We sacred as a bond, bro, I don't bond, not I don't bail, heaven bound, and what I bind on earth, we'll be bound in hell, yeah. If you my brother, you my brother then, no more disable, we enabling, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love, yeah. If you my brother, you my brother then, this ain't no Cain killing Abel them, nah. first. Treat your seeds like they was mine, cause see my treasure upon this earth. And my brothers keep it having shit. Yeah. Pull up and hop out like Aki, I got you. I always be there. Like the 12 tribe of Israel, Judah and Benjamin, Levi, Natalie, and Zebulon, Issachar, Asher, Gad, and Simeon, Ephraim, Manasseh, and Reuben. All my aunts in the four corners. Can't let jealousy get us like 10. Nah, I ain't gon' stand for it. Come forward like Martha and Mary, your Bethany brothers, Lazarus. Shout out to all my coaches. Elohim made y'all marvelous. I go Judah and Reuben for you and wipe out a nation. But you the murderer if you don't have a cause, and it's your brother you hating. If you my brother, you my brother then. No more disable, we enabling. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love. Yeah. If you my brother, you my brother then. This ain't no Cain killing Abel them. Nah. Oh, yeah. If you don't love your brother, then you can't love. Whoever claims to love Elohim, yet hate a brother or a sister is a liar. For whoever does not love their brother and sister whom they have seen cannot love Elohim who they have not seen.
And he had given us this commandment: anyone who loves Yah must also love their brother and sister.
You my brother, you my brother then. No more disable, we enabling.
All right. Shalom, and shalom, everybody. Welcome to tonight's Bible study class. We're gonna go ahead and get started. First and foremost, we're gonna give our honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, this is the law call, law school. All right, so before we get started, we're gonna send up some prayers. So, brothers, if you got your head covered, please uncover your head. And sisters, if you don't have your head covered, please get you something to cover your head so we can face the east and pray. Our Father in heaven, we humbly bow before your throne and say, thank you, Father. Thank you for blessing us with another opportunity to gather, study your word, to dig into your precepts, to understand your law. Thank you so much for blessing us with another day of life, blessing us with a sound mind, to still want to be in this truth, still want to serve you, Father. We thank you so much for being long-suffering and patient with us all. We pray that you give us discernment and understanding so that we can fulfill your will and keep the commandments as you see fit for us to keep them. Please wash away and blot out our transgressions in the blood of your Son, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And it's through his name that we pray. Amen. All praises to the Most High. Let me see what we got going on here. So we're going to pick up where we left off, Most High willing. We left off at Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 22. All right, so if you missed last week, it's on our page. It'll be under the playlist Law School, and it'll be Deuteronomy chapter 9. So what I'll probably title this one is Deuteronomy 9. I'm gonna try to get through chapter 10, but we're gonna let the Spirit lead, see how far we get. But Uriah, Mighty King, you able to share your screen for me? If you can, I appreciate it, man. Eleazar, if I could get you to read for me, that'd help me out a lot.
Okay, Tom.
All right. Share your screen whenever you can, you're right. You able to get it, you're right? Oh, he logged off. All right. Let me do this. Deuteronomy chapter 9. Like I said, we're going to pick up I'm going to go up a little bit. I'm going to start at verse 20, just to give a little refresher. All right. So, let's start at verse 20, King.
Okay, Con. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9 and verse 20. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time.
So the Lord was finna kill Aaron. This is after they made the calf, the golden calf, when Moses went up to get the commandments. All right, let's keep going.
Verse 21. And I took your sin, the calf which he had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount.
Right, and we talked about that last week. He actually made them drink that. All right, so this is he giving it a different, he telling it a little smoother to this new generation. All right, he actually ground that calf up and made them drink it. All right, let's keep going.
Verse 22, and that Taberah, and that Massa, and that
Kiberahatava.
That Kiberahatava, ye provoked the Lord to wrath.
Right, 3 different occasions, right? Taberah was where the Most High burnt up people. All right, let's get that and let's go to Numbers. No, matter of fact, let's go to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers chapter 11, and let's start at verse 1. Yeah, let's start at verse 1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11 and verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
Right, so Brother Eleazar talked about last Sunday how the Lord, he can love you or he can show you his displeasure by killing you. He got 2 sides, right? So this is an account where the people of Israel complained and he burnt them up. All right, keep reading.
And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched.
Read on.
And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them.
Right, that's what Taberah means, burning. All right, keep that in mind, burning. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 9. Let's read verse 22 again. Well, you ain't got to read it. You ain't got to read it. It say, so he did that. We tempted the Lord at Taberah and at Massa. Massa means temptation. All right, that's the account where we had the bitter waters. All right, let's go there. Exodus chapter 17, and let's go to verse 1.
Exodus 17 and 1. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink.
Right. So the Most High is allowing Israel to go through certain situations to prove them, to see whether they would serve him, no matter what the circumstances were. All right, keep reading.
Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord?
Why y'all tempting the Lord? Why y'all asking the Lord to prove himself to y'all? Read on.
And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses and said, Wherefore is it that thou hast brought us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst?
You brought us here to die, Moses. Read.
And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me.
So they was ready to stone Moses. This how serious. You got to imagine. This is over 1 million people, right? Just talking about when you count everybody, right? The able-bodied men, it was about 600,000 Israelites. All right. They was ready to kill Moses. They was ready to stone him as a congregation because they felt that he had misled them. This is after seeing all the miracles of the Most High, right? Being brought through the Red Sea. Now they worrying about having something to drink. This is our people, man. Read on.
Right. Verse 5. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thy hand and go.
Read on.
Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock and Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come out, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel.
He hit the rock and water came out. Read on.
Verse 7. And he called the name of that place Massa and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not?
Right. So that's what Massa means, temptation. All right. So Tabra is burning. This Massa is temptation. So you got burning temptation. Let's see what happened next. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 9. Let's read verse 23.
Verse 23. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh
Barnea,
saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you. Then you rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and you believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice.
Right. So let's get that account. He said Kadesh Barnea. All right. Kadesh means holy. Barnea is desert-like place. So the holy desert. All right. Let's go to matter of fact, I left one out in 22. Kibroth Hatava. He said we provoked him there. Let's get that in Numbers 11. Numbers 11, and we'll start at verse 31.
Numbers 11 and verse 31. And there went forth the wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth.
So that's how much quails felt. A cubit is, if I'm not mistaken, from like your elbow to your wrist. So 2 cubits, so about a little over 2 feet worth of quails fell on the earth. Right. So this was because the people were complaining about not having any flesh. All we got is this bread. All we got is this manna. We want some meat. We need some meat to eat. So the Lord said, okay, I'm going to give you meat, and you going to eat meat. Right. They ate it so much till they died. Right. You know.
And it came out their nose. The book of Numbers 11, verse 32. And the people stood up all that day and all that night and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered the least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp.
Right. If anybody's ever eaten quail is good. It's very delicious. It's a small bird. It's not a whole lot of meat on it, right? But it is good. All right. So they ate a lot of them. He who gathered the least of them gathered 10 omers. All right. You can look that up on your own time. As a matter of fact, we're in Bible study. Let's look up how much an omer is. In fact, I can do it right here. So tools. It's a quick little tutorial for anybody that don't know how to use Blue Letter Bible. Anytime you want to know what a word is, like we want to know what omers is, you click on tools. It's going to do that, and it's going to put the verse in a line. You scroll down to the verse you're looking for, the words you're looking for. omers. You click on the Hebrew word H2560. All right, it'll tell you how to pronounce it. All right, biblical usage. It say a heap, swelling. Okay, a omer, a unit of dry measure, about 65 imperial gallons. All right, so that's how. So 10 of those is 6,500 gallons. That's how many. That's how much the least of them gathered. So they were just being greedy.
Being greedy.
Right? That's a lot of you can't even eat all that. Come on, you gotta think. They ain't got no refrigerators, no ice to keep it from spoiling. They just being greedy. All right, let's go back. Verse 33.
Verse 33. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, it was chewed. The wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague.
All right, before they could even chew it, the Most High, they pissed them off and he killed them. Right, read on.
And he called the name of that place Kibro Hatava, because there they buried the people that lusted.
Right, they was covered in this meat, right? And so he called that place Kibro Hatava, which means graves of lust. So you got burning, Tebera, burning, Masa, temptation, Kibro Hatava, graves of lust. Burning temptation got them graves of lust. I thought that was interesting. All right, so let's go back to Deuteronomy 9 and verse 23.
Verse 23. Likewise, when the Lord sent you to Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I given you, then you rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and you believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice.
All right, so this is dealing with when they sent spies to spy out the land. All right, one from each tribe. They complained. They said, "Oh, the people too big. They're too strong. We can't fight against them." Right? They didn't hearken to the voice of the Lord. He told them, "Go up and take the land." We didn't listen. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 24. Ye have rebelled against the Lord from the day that I knew you.
From the day that Moses knew them, they rebelled against the Lord. All right, and that's some of us in this truth. From the day we found out about the truth, we've been rebelling. I don't want to do that. Now I still want to eat that. Now I don't want to listen to that. All right, you've been rebellious. All right, this is gonna get you death at the end of the day. All right, keep reading.
Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said he would destroy you.
All right, Moses had to pray for the people. All right, let's go to James chapter 5 and verse 16. The Lord was going to kill them and start over. James chapter 5 and verse number 16.
Confess your faults to one another and pray for one another that you may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Right, and that's Moses, right? He's a righteous man. His prayer, his effectual and fervent prayer availeth much. It saved them on many occasions from being put to death by the Lord. All right, so let's go back to Deuteronomy 9. Let's read verse 26.
Deuteronomy chapter 9 and verse 26. I prayed therefore unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, destroy not the people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand.
He did all those miracles in the face of us and the Egyptians. Egypt was the most powerful empire on the earth at that time. So you have to understand, for the Egyptians to be in awe, it was incredible. Everything that the Lord did for the Israelites at that time was incredible. Nothing had ever been seen like that on the earth, right? When they killed the firstborn of the Egyptians, there was a cry that had never been heard in the earth that night. All right. When he made darkness fall upon Egypt and only the area where the Israelites was lit up, the darkness was so thick that you could feel it. you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, right? He did many, many miracles in the face of all of us, and we still rebel against the Lord. Go ahead, Obadiah.
King, I was gonna say it's gonna be the same way when he deliver us out of America. You know, that same way how people were shocked and they couldn't really grasp what the Most High God did in Egypt. It's gonna be the same way when He deliver us out of America, because everybody look at America as that country that nobody's supposed to mess with. You know, a lot of nations feared America, so they're gonna be shocked to see this country fall down and the Most High God deliver us out of here.
All right, let's get that in the book of Romans. That's right. Let's go to Romans chapter 9. Right. The reason why he did what he did was so that we could believe that he was God. Romans 9. And let's start at verse. Let's read verse 17.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 17. For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Right. So, like I said, Pharaoh, Egypt was the most powerful empire at the time. He had to raise him up. The Most High allowed them to become powerful like that. Just like Brother Obadiah brought out, it's the same way in these last days. The Most High has allowed America to become the greatest power on the earth for the purpose that he could show his power and that his name might be declared throughout all the earth. Everybody's going to know he's God when he takes down who everybody sees as God down. All right, go ahead, Obadiah.
I ain't had no King.
Oh, okay, con. But yeah, that's right. So yeah, let's go back to Deuteronomy. Verse 27.
Remember thy servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to the wickedness, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin.
He said, think about the oath and the promise that you made to their forefathers. I know they chilling bad and wicked and hard-headed, but think about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Read on.
Verse 28, lest the land whence thou brought us out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he had brought them out to slay them in the wilderness.
He said, think about your name, right? Read on.
Yes, they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast brought it out by thy mighty power and by thy stretched out arm.
He said, look, at the end of the day, Lord, these are the people you chose. So you must have chosen for a reason, right? So Moses had a type of relationship with the Lord where he could reason with him. Everybody can't do that. Don't think we got that luxury. We can't reason with the Lord the way Moses did, right? He spoke to the Lord. He had a different type of relationship with him. All right, so let's go on to chapter 10. And let's see how far we can get. Maybe we can get through it all. Let's start at verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 1. At that time the Lord said unto me, hew thee out 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto the mount, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood.
He said, hew thee out 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up to the mount and make thee an ark of wood. Now that's going to be something interesting. First, go ahead, Uriah.
So like my thing was muted, but can you I was gonna add on to what you were just about when you just finished on the last chapter. Can you go to Baruch chapter 3 verse 4 through 6?
O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children, which have sinned before thee, and have not hearkened unto the voice of thee, their God, for the which cause these plagues cleave unto us.
Oh yeah. Keep going.
Remember not the iniquities of our fathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. Keep going.
Yeah.
For thou art the Lord our God, and thee, O Lord, we will praise. And for
So
this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name, and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquities of our forefathers that have sinned before thee.
we
Behold,
yeah. Keep going. Yeah, keep going, King.
behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
So basically, yeah, our fathers, you know what I'm saying, they were, you know what I'm saying, stiff necked and hard headed. Like even Brother Nashawn said, some of us that's in this truth, we stiff necked and hard headed, you know what I'm saying? So the Lord's always like Brother L, he was bringing out a mighty lesson talking about the Lord is a jealous God. He's, you know what I'm saying, he loves us so much that he destroyed the Egyptians for us. But we question him. Because we can speed it up to modern day 2023 that people all the time question the Lord. Oh, why me? Why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I going through that? He's gonna deliver us from the from this captivity. Not for anything else, but for his name's sake, because he is the God of Israel. He is our God. But that's all I got.
That's right. Go ahead, Obadiah.
All right. I just want to say something about verse 8, man, because it's so crazy to me how you can you see how it just said we got punished for the iniquities of our forefathers. So we in this situation in this condition because our forefathers sinned against God. And you also have our righteous forefathers and foremothers that didn't do nothing wrong, but they still had to get punished for what their forefathers did. But you have the other nations, right? They get upset, just like the white dude was talking to at the store. We told him he had to pay for his father's iniquity. He couldn't really grasp that. He couldn't grasp that and understand that because he kept saying, "Well, I didn't put y'all in slavery. I had nothing to do with that. But how come we had to go through get punished for what our forefathers did, and they not gonna have to get punished for what their forefathers did? It just wouldn't make sense for the Most High God to not punish them for the iniquities of their fathers if He punished us for the iniquities of our fathers, and we His chosen people. By you on that.
Hey, he couldn't understand it because in his eyes that'll make the Most High unrighteous. They don't see the Lord doing nothing like that, but that's just.
Right. That's right. Let's get that. That's right. Excellent point. Let's go to the book of Lamentations. Because you're absolutely right. There were righteous people. There were people who kept the law. Matter of fact, let's get an example. It's a big misconception that nobody could keep the laws. Let's go to Luke chapter 1. And this is the New Testament, right? Luke chapter 1. And let's start at verse 5. It's talking about John the Baptist's parents.
Book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 5. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abia, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
Right. So Zacharias and Elizabeth, right? They were both Levi. Read on.
And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless.
Right. So these people were among many others that were keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. It wasn't a thing that nobody could keep the law. You had people keeping it, but we suffer as a nation, right? We are glorified as a nation, and we suffer as a nation, right? Let's go to Lamentations now, chapter 5, and let's read verse 7.
Verse 7, our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities.
Right? Because Jeremiah was righteous. He kept the commandments and the charge of the Lord. He said, our fathers have sinned and are not. Our fathers are dead. They sinned and they're dead. And we have borne their iniquities. But we, the ones who are alive, got to pay the price for our forefathers' sins. That's why it's important when you pray for forgiveness, you also pray for forgiveness for your forefathers and your foremothers, right? Pray the Most High have mercy on those spirits because you could be them, All right, go ahead, Isaiah.
Shalom, shalom. Can y'all hear me?
Shalom, King.
Can a brother get Isaiah 43, 27? 26, actually.
Verse 26. Put me in remembrance. Let us plead together. Declare thou that thou may be justified.
Right? Read verse 27.
Thy father have sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me.
Right. When I think about it, the Lord is a just judge. So he said, plead with him, you know. Our first forefathers sinned. A lot of things we going through is because of what they done. The same plight that the Edomites, they can't understand, and we living it out, but if we plead our cause with the Most High, He gonna have mercy on us, because we didn't do it, we didn't choose it. He's a just judge, and we use these scriptures to plead our case. We're gonna be justified every time, you know. And I love this precept. He said, "Your first forefathers have sinned," but He said, "Plead together that you may be justified." That's why it's important for us to know these scriptures, because what we doing is in the court of law. So you got to know the rules, you got to know the laws to justify yourself. But that's all I had out.
Hey, Salaki. That's the
Go
same
ahead.
thing I brought out last night, bro. Taking that plea to get a least harsher sentence than you deserve. But brother, right.
That's right, man. And let's get an example of that, right? Let's go to Luke. That's right, man. You gotta plead your cause day and night, man. Luke chapter 18. Let me see. I want to start. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 1. Luke 18 and 1.
And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought to always pray and not faint.
Always pray and not faint. That means what? Pray without ceasing, right? Always pray and not faint. Read on.
Saying, there was in a city a judge, which feared not Yahweh, neither regarded man.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him saying, and there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him saying, avenge me of my adversary.
Right? This widow represents Israel, right? The judge represents Yahweh. Read on.
And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, do I fear not Yahweh, nor regard man? Yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continuing coming, she weary me.
Right? He said, I'm tired of this woman. She keep praying to me, right? And that's us in the spirit. We gotta constantly wear out the Most High's ear when it comes to praying, man. Constantly begging him to get us out of this captivity. Constantly begging him to forgive the sins of us and our forefathers and foremothers and our nation, right? We gotta keep beating his door down, right? And so that's the point. You can read the rest at another time. But excellent points by the brothers, man. We gotta continue to pray. Continue to pray, man, without ceasing. Right. So that's what Moses did on our behalf, right? When we was in sin, he fell down and he lifted up prayers for us. And he spared got a lot of us to get a little extra time on the end of our life, even though we did it again. Right. So let's go back. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10 and let's read verse 1 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 1. At that time the Lord said unto me, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark.
Right. He said, I'm gonna write the words that I put on the first one that you broke, because Moses was mad because we was in sin after he fasted 40 days and 40 nights and came down with them tables of stone. Right. Let's get that. So he said, this time I want you to do it and put them in the ark. What happened the first time? Let's go to Exodus 24 and verse 12.
Exodus 24 and 12. And the Lord said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and the law, and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them.
right? He said, I will give you tables of stone and a law and commandments, which I have written. Moses didn't go up there with no tables of stone the first time, right? He had to do that the second time. The second time, he had to get them stones and hew them out, and he had to carry them up there and carry them back down. The first time, he went up there and got them and brought them down, right? So the Most High wrote those commandments, and he said that thou mayest teach them, right? Read on,
Hey,
verse 2.
hey, Salaki King, that's spiritual. That means he had to do the work.
There you go. Khan. That's right. That's the point, man. That's the point. So now, that goes for us. We were supposed to be given these laws as a heritage by our parents, right? Now we had to go out and dig for it. We the younger generation. I don't think it's nobody on this call. That it might be one person in their 60s, right? Let me see. I don't think so though, right? Maybe, right? But most of the people on here in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? The younger generation had to go and bear the burden, had to go and get it, had to go seek it, get it out the mud, figure out what was right and what was wrong, and then bring it to the people, right? When we were supposed to just get it gave to us from birth, right? And that's our duty as parents in this truth. Those of us that's got children that's being born, man, you don't know what a blessing that is to raise a child, to born a child in this truth and be able to raise them up in a righteous way. That's a big deal. All right, that's going into our nation, getting it together, getting in order. All right. So he said, this time when you come get these stones, put them in the ark. All right. Reverse let me see. No, that's cool. Let's go back. Deuteronomy 10. Right. So verse 2, he said, thou shalt put them in the ark. All right. He said, I want you to put this law in the ark. All right, let's look at the word ark. All right, he said ark. That's the word Aaron, right? Aaron, which is Aaron. All right, so that happened the first time when Moses went up to get the commandments the first time. When he came down, while he was gone, Aaron allowed the people to make a false god. Right? This is spiritual. Why he's saying put them in the ark this time. He telling Moses, yeah, put them in this ark that you're gonna build, but I want you to make it so that Aaron understand and he can teach the people. That's basically what he's saying to Moses. He like put them in the ark, put the laws in Aaron, so Aaron can teach the people because Moses' job was never to teach the people. Moses was to be God and Aaron was to teach the people. All right. Originally, we was all supposed to be priests, but we messed that all up. All right. So he said, this time I want you to get this law and put them in Aaron, put them in Aaron, put them in the ark, right? Because that's what Aaron's name means. All right. So let's go back. All right. Verse 3.
Verse 3, and I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in my hand.
That's hard work, y'all. Read on.
And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and the Lord gave them unto me.
Read on.
Verse 5, and I turned myself and came down from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made, and there they be, as the Lord commanded me.
That's why Aaron's staff was in there as well, that budded, right? It represented Aaron getting the understanding and doing what he was originally supposed to do, right? Read on.
And the children of Israel took their journey from Baroth of the children of Jachan, so Masriah, and there Aaron died, and there he was buried. And Eleazar, his son, ministered in the priest's office in his stead.
Right. Instead, right. So Aaron died in Masriah, all right, when they finally made it there, and his son Eleazar rose up in his stead and became high priest. All right, read on, verse 7.
From thence they journeyed unto
Good Gadah. Good Gadah.
Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Jabba,
Joppa.
Jotbat,
Uh-huh.
and a land of rivers of waters.
All these are places where we would stop and rest. We would journey, stop, rest, set up camp, get back up and move again. Right? You got to imagine the logistics of all this. You moving over 1 million people, right? And Moses got to keep track and keep all of them together. Right? Read verse 8.
Verse 8. At that time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord to minister unto him, and to bless him, and to bless in his name unto this day.
Right. But at that time, he separated the tribe of Levi. Levi, originally, that's not how the Most High wanted it. Let's go to Exodus chapter 19 and verse, I think it's verse 6. Originally, that's not how the Lord wanted it to be. Yeah, read verse 6.
Exodus 19:6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Right. We were supposed to be a kingdom of priests. A king, everybody was supposed to be priests. Right. But because we sinned when we made that cow and start worshiping that false god, he said, now I gotta separate the Levites to do it. They gotta be the ones to do it. Right. Let's go real quick to of course now we under the order of Melchizedek with Yahweh Shah being the high priest. Now we coming back into that original estate that we were supposed to be in as a nation of priests. All right, let's get that real quick in First Peter's. So a priest does what? Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. What does a priest do?
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
Right. You brothers in this truth, you are the messenger of the Lord of hosts. The message that you're supposed to be delivering is the law. Right? When we go out on these streets, we wake the people up. We teach them that we Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites. Right? Thus saith the Lord. After that, you got to show the people the law so that they can get out of sin. And when we get out of sin, we can get back home. We can go home. We the priests. They should be able to come to us and understand the law. That's why we had this law call. So that this ain't just the meet up and talk and shoot the breeze. This is so that, hey, after Passover, I want another brother to teach the law call. I'm looking for another brother to say he ready and step up and teach this law call, because I ain't the only one who know the law. It's for everybody to know. Every brother should be astute in this law because the law is our heritage, right? So the priest's lips should keep knowledge and they should seek the law at his mouth, right? Let's get that in, matter of fact, I forgot where I was going to go before that. That's all right. Yeah, let's go to 1 Peter, the water. 1 Peter chapter 2. And verse 9.
1 Peter 2 and 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Right. We call out of darkness into the light, which the light is the law. Proverbs 6 and 23. So now that we call out of darkness into the light, we should be having a light. We should be letting our light shine. We should be letting it be known that we understand the laws of the Most High. Right? Read verse 10.
Verse 10, which in time past were not a people, but now are the people of Yahweh, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
Right. Like the brother went over last Sunday. Now that you've been given this plea deal, you got to show that you're worthy of the mercy that you've been given. You weren't a people when we was destroyed, when we was cast off from the Most High, when he hid his face from us. You weren't a people then. All right. You were Gentiles. right? When you were celebrating Christmas and your birthday and Easter, you was a Gentile. You were living like the nations were, right? Now that you in this truth, you got to show forth the praises of the Most High and show yourself appreciative of the mercy that He's given all of us. All right, so let's go back now to let's read verse 8 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 8. At that time, the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day.
The blessing to His name unto this day, right? Because Moses needed some help. Moses was going through it, man. It's a lot of people, man. You just gotta imagine how many people this is coming and complaining, saying this is wrong. They don't like this sister. This sister said this. It's a lot going on in this wilderness. Let's go to Numbers 11, and let's start at verse 11.
Numbers 11 and 11. And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me?
Be like, why you did this to me, Lord? All these people is a burden to me. Read on.
Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them? That thou shouldst say unto me, carry them in thy bosom, as a nurse and father beareth a sucking child, unto the land which thou swearest unto their fathers.
He like, I ain't a parent. Why they coming to me complaining and everybody coming to me? Moses is a man, right? So he was tired of all these people coming to him. All right, read on.
When should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh to eat. Give
Right,
us flesh that we may eat.
So this is before the Lord made the quails rain down. They was weeping to Moses, crying. We want some meat. We tired of eating this bread. We tired of it. They was complaining. Right, read on.
I am not able to bear this people alone, because it is too heavy for me.
He said, I can't do this by myself. It's too hard. Read on.
And if thou deal thus with me, kill me. I pray thee out of hand. If I found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness.
He said, I don't want to get out the spirit having to deal with these people. Read on.
Verse 16. And the Lord said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee.
Read.
And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and I will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone.
Right. So that's us praying for more laborers, right? Today, right? The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Right. It's brothers. I'm so happy, man, that I'm getting to see brothers coming up and bearing the burden of this congregation, of this ministry, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that go into this behind the scenes that y'all don't see. Right, uploading the classes, just getting the camp, coming from camp. It's a lot that goes on, right? So praying that the Most High spread that spirit out, that spirit of zeal for this ministry, right? Read on. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens.
Verse 18, and say thou unto the people, sanctify yourself against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat.
All right, they were like, it was better when we was in Egypt, so the Lord gonna give you this flesh. Read on.
You shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days,
He said,
but even a whole month.
He said, I'm gonna give you some flesh to eat, right? Even a whole month's worth. Read on.
Until it come out of your nostrils, till it come out at your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt?
Y'all gonna eat it until it's coming out your nose. Read on.
That's a dangerous thing, despising something that the Lord ordained.
That's right. That's right.
Numbers 11 and 21. And Moses said, the people among who I am are 600,000 footmen. And thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month.
Right? Footmen mean the able-bodied men, right? The men who could go to war and fight, right? Not counting the babies, the women, the older people, right? It's probably over 1 million people you're dealing with. Moses is like, how I'm gonna feed you? You told me to tell them it's gonna be enough meat for a month. He don't know how it's gonna go down, right? Read on.
Verse 22. Shall the flocks and the herds be slain for them to suffice them? Or shall all the flesh of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them?
Read on. Where's
And
it
the
gonna
Lord
come
said,
from?
and the Lord said unto Moses, is the Lord's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not.
Read on.
Verse 24. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle.
So Moses just went on and did what he was supposed to. He was doubting a little bit, right? Read on.
Verse 25. And the Lord came down in the cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease.
Right. The Most High took that same spirit that was on Moses and put it on them, those 70 elders. It said, and they prophesied and did not cease. Right. That's what I see going on in the spirit at New Wine congregation, man.
That's exactly what's going on.
Moving that spirit around, man. He's spreading it around. Right. And then all the other camps too. Right. The Most High raising up mighty men, man. You got certain brothers that that are known in these camps. But now you're starting to see brothers you hadn't seen before teach on the streets, teaching in the classroom. The Lord spreading that spirit out so we can get up out of here. So if the Lord put that spirit on you to do the work, to come to camp, to start reading, to start taking notes, hey, don't grieve the spirit. Go with the spirit. Let the Lord use you in the mighty way that he's trying to do, right? Because that's how we're going to get this great work accomplished, right? Let's see the attitude that Moses had, right? Let's jump down to verse 28.
Verse 28. And Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, my Lord Moses, forbid them.
Right, because you had two brothers that was at the camp that didn't come up that was prophesying. But Joshua was like, Moses, stop him, right? So Joshua was a little bit of a fan of Moses. He went with him everywhere he went. He like, Moses, it's just supposed to be you that bring it out, right? What did Moses say to him? Reading 29.
And Moses said unto him, envious thou for my sake? Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord will put his spirit upon them?
All right, he said, why you envying for me? I want every brother to be able to prophesy. I want every brother to be able to teach class, to teach the law call, to teach the prophecy call, to teach at camp, right? I want to see every brother be able to do that. And that's the mentality you got. If you're a leader, you're going to have that type of mindset, man, because it ain't just you. It ain't you. It's not you that you can go out and teach on these streets. You got the spirit of the Lord on you, even be able to go out there and stand in great boldness in the face of your enemies, the people who hate you. Are we in the deep south? A lot of brothers scared to go out there and teach in front of the so-called white man. All right. So it's not you. So don't covet that spirit and only want it for yourself. Pray that the Most High put that spirit. If you able to do it, pray that the Most High put that spirit on the brothers around you. Right? If you a mighty sister in this truth, right? You may be cooking and sewing and reverencing your husband the way that you're supposed to. If you see younger sisters in this truth that ain't doing it, pray that them sisters get that spirit that's on you. Right? You got these the type of prayers you got. That's charity. Considering your brother and your sister and the level they're on and wanting them to get to your level or beyond you if you are ahead of them in the spirit. Right? You had something else?
Nah, go ahead, King. I was just agreeing with you.
All praise, man. So let's go back. let's read verse 9, Deuteronomy 10 and 9. We might finish it. We don't,
All
if
right,
y'all
Con. I think a brother put a precept in the chat. We'll get it after this.
con. Matter of fact,
Deuteronomy chapter.
hold on. Let me see what you got. Brothers got precepts. You can bring them out, man. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Let's get that. Yeah, because that go right with it. Being able to come out there in these streets and teach. Let's read that. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1.
It say, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
That's us in the spirit. Great, chiefly talking about Yahweh Shah, right? But that's us in the spirit because in order to do that, you got to have the spirit of Yahweh Shah, right? It ain't you. Don't ever get that twisted. It ain't you, man. All right, so good point. Let's go back. Verse 9, Deuteronomy 10 and 9.
Verse 9, wherefore Levi hath no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according as the Lord thy God promised him.
Because Levi didn't get a land allotment. Every other nation had a land allotment except for Levi. Levi's job was the service of Yahweh, to teach the law and to do the sacrifices that went on in the temple. That was their allotment. That was their lot. That was their inheritance, right? So over time, what you had happen was Levi began to be covetous of the other tribes because they couldn't go out and become rich men. Even though we made sure that they were straight, they didn't go lacking. But you could, as another person from another tribe, you could basically come up, so to speak, because you were able to maneuver and do what you wanted with your inheritance, your land. You could work the land hard as you wanted, sell here and there, become wealthy, so to speak. Levi couldn't do that. They had to rely on the tithes that was given to them and through the portions that the other tribes got, right? So their inheritance was the Lord, right? Read on verse 10.
Hey, Salakia, bro.
Go ahead.
Brother done dropped the precept in the chat.
Let's see. Luke 9. Brothers, bring out to our precept, man. Y'all got a precept. Luke 9.
So like after him, can you get Sirach 42 verse 8?
Okay. Luke 9, 49, 55.
Luke 9 and 49.
Mm-hmm.
It say, and John answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and we forbade him because he followed not with us. And Yahushua said unto him, forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us. And it came to pass that when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem, and he sent messengers before his face, and they went and entered into a village of the Samaritans to make ready for him. Am I going to 55, right?
55, yes, sir.
Done. And they did not receive him because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem. Verse 54. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, without that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did. But he turned and rebuked them and said, ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of.
You want to expound?
Yeah, cause like I ain't mean to go that far to 90 verse 55, but I really want to stop at the part where he basically told them, hey, don't stop them for prophesying in my name. And that's kind of going to the account what you had just pulled out. Yahweh Shah was the type, he was like, he didn't really, hey, long as you was doing the works. You may not been walking with me, like as physically with me, like my disciples, but if you around someone else and you prophesying in my name, that's still a win because the word is still getting spread it out, man. So that's a precept I had thought about when you had brought that account with Moses.
That's right. That's right. You're right. You say you had something?
Yeah, Khan, I'm gonna stay on topic. But yeah, that's right. Can you go to Malachi chapter 2? We're gonna read 7 and 8. But yeah, just like he said, like if a brother is doing the same work as us, why are we despising this brother? Why don't we want to see a brother get ahead? Why don't we want to see another brother doing that? We see that in New Wine that guess what? The Lord's pouring His Spirit on every brother. We got brothers doing stuff that they never even seen themselves doing. But Khan, can you read 7 and 8?
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, says the Lord of hosts.
So basically, like, yeah, just to add on the verse, I think that was 9, because Levi went off because their job was to teach the law. But when they seen the inheritance of other tribes, that's what, what I'm saying, made them go off. But that's all I got.
That's right. That's right, man. And that, like brother's saying, even if it ain't, it ain't with you can't be envious or not want to see, even if they ain't with this camp. Man, as a collective, we make up the body, right? We got our little differences in doctrine, and I'm guilty of that. I used to get caught up on that, but they ain't saying exactly. We may not be able to teach together necessarily, but you can't knock that brother, man. You can't knock that camp if they out there doing the work, man. What the in Revelation, Yahweh Shah said it was 7 churches. Only 2 of them was perfect in his eyes. He didn't have nothing against them. Everybody else, he had something against them churches, but his spirit was still there. He said, I just got this one thing against you. Right? You might look around and see some camps, you say, oh, that's off. I know that's off. But the Lord's still dealing with them brothers in some manner or fashion. He's still using them to do something. They may have something that they gotta correct. Sure, we got some things we gotta correct. Most High willing, He reveal them to us in time, right? But it's about the nation, man. It's not about you. It's about our nation, right? So,
Hey, hold on. So, like, I want to make a point real quick. That's
go
a real
ahead.
spill because we got to eventually, through the Ruach, come together at some point, right? Because the whole thing with Satan, he want to divide and conquer. So we eventually got to come together and get this thing right. But we will eventually through the roof. That was it, bro.
That's right. The most Yahweh Shai, actually, he gonna be the one that make everybody come together, man. Let me get
Right.
that in Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37. The Yahweh Shai gonna be the one to gather us up. Right now, you got these different camps. Before I get that, let me go here. Wisdom Sirach. This is why you got the different camps, man. And it's all right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15. And I think it's chapter 13. Let's read verse 16.
Verse 16.
Sirach 13 and 16.
Sirach chapter 13 and verse 16. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like.
Right. All flesh consorted to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. That's why you got Sakar, WFI, IUIC, the camps that ain't so big, right? Because flesh consorted to his kind. You're gonna gravitate towards the brothers who you got a like spirit with, right? So it's okay. It's all right. The Lord gonna gather everybody, put everybody together. All right, let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 37 and verse. Yeah, let's read verse 21.
Verse 21. And say unto them, thus says the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land.
Right. So the Lord is going to gather us up. He gonna put everybody together and put us in the land, right? Read on.
Verse 22, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and there shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
Right. So chiefly going in the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, but also with the differences that we all got amongst each other, right? Because we brought it out last week, I believe. All of us have erred in the spirit. Nobody got 100% understanding of this Bible, right? We just doing our best and we standing steadfast on what we fully convinced of, right? Go ahead, Isaiah.
Man, just speaking as a man, I meditate on the different doctrines and different camps. But if you think about it, the Panthers, they had one leader. What happened to them? When you go to everything that we had in America, as a people, we had one leader. It was easily destroyed. So different camps and different doctrines is necessary because they can't band one camp. They can't band us all together. It'll be easy to take us out, but that's just my own thought on that.
That's right. That's right, man. That's a good point. All right, so the brother didn't have nothing else, man. We had time really, man. But the brothers had anything else, you can bring it out.
I did real quick, because you
let's get it.
mentioned about men resorting to their light. I keep using this example of Dathan and Korah over and over again, but it wasn't just them two; it was a company of other men, right? And all them wicked men who thought alike and moved alike, they came together and they all died together. So them wicked men within them camps, they gonna resort to their light. So if it's wicked men inside the camp, they all gonna click together, right? Just like the righteous ones gonna click together. But that was it.
That's right, man. That's right. All right, so yeah, all praise and honor to the Most High God, Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Right, we'll pick it up. We'll go back. I think we left off at verse 9, Deuteronomy 10 and 9. So Most High willing, next Tuesday we'll pick it back up right there. All right, put a little note, a little star by your notes. Somebody can remind me in case I forget. Right, so I appreciate every one of y'all, man, for coming and gathering with us, congregating, getting in the word, studying the laws, man. It's very important. So with that, I'm tell everybody shalom. Most High willing, we'll see y'all Thursday at 7 o'clock. Don't forget the sisters got the prayer call tomorrow at 6:40, right? And if you're a sister, don't miss that, man. Pray without ceasing, right? And shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.